What I wish I knew at 20 instead of 30. The real raw truth. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Shorty Logic Podcast, where we indulge in the messiness of reality and hold nothing back. If you're tired of sugar-coated conversations, you've found your tribe. Join us every Monday at 8:00 p.m. Eastern, 7:00 p.m. Central, for discussions that challenge your perspective and push boundaries. From controversial topics to holding ourselves accountable, we dive deep into the bold and the brave. Laugh, cry, and get real with us. So hit that subscribe button, share with your friends, and let's get uncomfortable together. See you Monday nights. Don't just listen, join the conversation. Shorty Logic Podcast, where truth gets real.
What up, everyone? This is the Shorty Logic Podcast. I am Shorty Logic, and here are my co-hosts.
Hello, how y'all doing? This is Bless. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day and a better Monday than me.
Dr. Saeed, man, representing that street, man, street doctor, man, trying to bring some flavor from the streets to the street.
All right. So yeah, we got a little class going on, because what we're about to talk about, it definitely can hinder it or make it better. It hurts it or make it better. We're talking about credit tonight, y'all. Talk about credit. We ain't experts, but we're gonna tell you what we know and also bring some facts into it with the research and facts about it. So the topic tonight is credit is currency and the importance of maintaining and managing your credit. So I got a question for everyone out there. What is credit, y'all? What is credit? I want to know what y'all know about what is credit to y'all.
Basically, to me, credit is being able to borrow with the hope or at least they're looking at it like they hope that you pay it back. So it's good faith. They're basically letting you borrow.
Yeah.
And once you borrow the finances, they are expecting you in good faith to pay it back. That's what credit is. In a nutshell.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, basically. Yeah. In a nutshell, for real.
Yeah.
Oh, Ms. Bless, I did tag you, so go ahead on Facebook. Go ahead to accept it. But we also, I forgot, Doc, what is credit to you?
Yeah, very similar what Bless spoke, what she said, the ability, man, to be trusted, right? To achieve a financial goal. That's how I see it. Like, you're going to get trusted, right? And you utilizing their funds to achieve a financial goal, that something that you probably couldn't do right now, or you rather risk somebody else's funds, more than your funds.
That's basically kind of, in kind of a nutshell, what I'm saying? You basically borrowing money. That's basically that's how they stay rich anyway. They borrow money, don't borrow their own money. Yeah. Like say on good faith, that my credit is here, so I know they're gonna pay my money back. So this is how we're going ahead and play the first video.
So what is credit? Hi, I'm Brian with Navy Federal. And in honor of National Credit Month, I go with the best minds in our credit department to get you the basics that you need to succeed. So what is credit? Well, it can be summed up as your financial power. It can help you borrow money or make purchases based off a 3-digit number known as your credit score. This number typically ranges from 300 to 850. Generally, the better your repayment history is, the better you can expect your score to be. So, when you apply for loans, lenders use this score, among other things, to predict the likelihood you will repay the loan, as well as how high or low your interest rate is. The better your score, the better your chances of approvals and low rates will be. Now
So, with that video there, what's your thoughts on that video after you listen to that?
Basically the same thing I was saying. You're borrowing money and they're expecting you to pay it back. And if you pay it back in the time which you were given, or how do I want to say that? In other words, don't stretch it out. Pay it back as soon as you can in the increments that you can pay it in. Whatever the loan says, put it like that. Whatever your loan says. So if your loan says pay it back within 30 days, make sure you're paying it back within 30 days. And then don't borrow more than 30%. Of your if you get a credit card, something like that, you try to build credit, do not borrow more than 30% of your credit. I learned that the hard way. Everybody let's say you go and get a $300 credit card. Don't run out and spend $300. You know what I'm saying? Run out and spend 30% of that $300, pay it back in increments, and it's going to build your credit. If you try to borrow the whole thing and you can't pay it back, that's bad. If you borrow the whole thing and pay it all back at once, that's bad, because you're not building anything. You can't build it if you pay it all back at one time. You have to pay it back slowly. If they tell you to pay it back in 3 months, pay it back in 3 months. Do it exactly the way they're telling you to do it, because you're going to set yourself up for failure if you don't. But do not go beyond 30% of the credit given.
Hey, she said mouthful right there, because hey, that's the facts. You know, don't borrow 30% more than 30%. That is so true, because they don't want you. They don't want to see that you're living off the credit they're giving you.
Yeah,
exactly.
And they look into your history of the payments, right? Before you get with them. They measure you on how good you've been treating other people. You know what I'm saying? How you've been paying it back. Have you had any complications? Is it something that we can easily look over and work with? Or we might need to tell you come back in 45, 60 days, man, when when you get it all the way together. You feel me? So that payment history, man, as well. So keeping those good payments, long periods of time, and even with multiple different companies too. You know what I'm saying? They like to see your relationship with multiple companies as well.
Absolutely.
Right. That is so true. With that being said, we can go with the next video.
Do you pay this off every month?
I try to pay that one off every month.
What does try? Does that mean you don't always pay it off?
Yes.
Listen, it is okay that you're not a credit card person. Not everyone is. You don't need to use a credit card. The kind of cards that I recommend for people like you are the Fizz card. It's the kind of card where you put money on it, then you can only spend what is on it. And then you still get the credit card rewards and you still get improvements to your credit score. So I like those. If you cannot pay off a credit card, you are not a credit card person. You should not have a credit card because you do not know how to manage other people's money.
Why do people say to use credit cards then?
Americans are morons with finances. We have record high credit card debt, record high consumer debt. So I don't really give a. And two, I would say use credit cards because you do get cash back. There are good bonuses, but that is if you manage them correctly.
So it's like a tool that you can use.
Yes, but also yourself with in an unpleasant way.
Yes. What about the perks?
What perks? You're losing money in interest. What cash back? You're losing it in interest. Cash back's probably 1 or 2%. You lose 30%. What's the bigger number? 1 or 30? 30. Okay.
Right there in the next show, right there.
And that's very important too. When you're looking for a good credit card, look at those interest rates. That matters. That matters for sure.
Yes.
Your approval rate, back to the payment history, right? Because sometimes yourself, right? You kind of can set your own rate based on your history of making payments, right? They even give you room for negotiation to even speak about how you've been making your payments and who you've been making your payments with. They give you the chance to bring in particular documents to, get you on that right path. And like when people first trying to get that credit up, as he was talking about, he used a different word, but a lot of the banks, right, they used a secured card. And he talked about utilizing your own money, right, in a sense, but it's the way they set the process up for you. And you use that secured card, and they basically see how you handle your own money first, and then they'll think about letting you come in and talk about a small loan, maybe for something that they for sure that you possibly can pay it back with your payment history habits with them.
That's true. And it's all about your spending habits, huh? All about your spending habits. Because do you ever know, like I was started doing a little research on this and everything. You realize I learned some things. Bad credit can negatively impact relationships.
Mm.
Mm.
You
Okay,
ain't
now,
kidding.
Shorty.
I'm gonna say it again. Bad credit.
Start in trouble now.
TikTok over
Yeah.
here. Bad credit. The Shorty Logic podcast. Bad credit. It's telling you
Man,
it will
what?
impact your relationship in a negative way.
Absolutely, it can.
Yeah.
Finances in general can
Yes.
be very negative.
Very.
Mhm.
Unfortunately.
You know, and that's pretty good if you got some individuals that's just conscious of their spending, right? They're conscious of future goals, financial goals. A lot of people they've been in relationships for real. They ain't even really conscious of their financial goals, right? You
True.
might get two people with bad credit. They just cool because they just working and they They don't really have no financial goals. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about that bad credit, it is for people who are very aware of their financial goals. You know what I'm saying? And that can really put a ripple effect on, am I gonna be able to complete these financial goals with this individual or not? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Unfortunately, just how it is. So I got something to post on who's blessed to read it out for me.
Always. I do this all day at work. A contract agreement in which a borrower receives a sum of money or something of value and repays the lender at a later date, generally with interest.
That's basically what they're saying, though, because everything have interest on it. Everything. Majority. Anytime you borrow money, you're gonna have interest on it.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to start doing that. Borrowing money from me. I need to put interest on that.
It's like loan sharking. It's a loan shark.
Yeah. It's a business. That's how they stay in business. Yeah. They're gonna have to charge you, right? Because they giving you a service. You know what I'm saying? So they need to charge you for their service. They giving you an ability, a skill, a tool to be able to do something that you probably normally wouldn't be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. So I got another put up.
We're gonna take turns because I ain't doing this.
Oh yeah.
A bad credit score can have a significant negative impact on various aspects of your daily life, making it harder to accomplish certain goals and potentially costing you more money in the long run. Here are some key ways bad credit can affect you.
And we're gonna go start with.
All right, I'll jump in there. I'll help you.
I didn't mean to take off.
Let's read one on.
Yeah.
All right, one. Limited access to credit and financing. Loan and credit card approvals. Lenders consider bad credit score, typically FICO below 580 or Vantage score below 600, as an indicator of high risk. This means you may be denied for traditional loans, credit cards, and mortgages.
Bam.
Okay.
Let me tell y'all something about that. When especially with the mortgages, they flip over every rock, and I mean every rock.
Yeah.
Every rock you ain't think you had. Any rock they go through a fine tooth comb, boy. They go through it. They wanna know you really can afford and pay that money back. And then of course it comes with interest. Yeah, of course. Because my house is basically 100. My house is 100 and what? 108,000. With interest is they add $8,000 of interest. And with my ratings, my rate was 6.75. 6.75. My ratings. So that's basically what it did. No, that's what I learned about how much fucking interest they really put on the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, I realized why it takes so long for 30 years to pay off a house.
Yeah, most people don't even pay it off. They dead before they pay it off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta look at it. Say the house is $991, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what property tax and homeowners insurance. How much you think of that is actually going to the principal, the actual house itself.
Little to nothing.
Only $101 is going to the principal.
$101 out of how much?
It's not $191.
That's $1,000.
Basically.
So 10%.
Only 10% is going to your principal.
I call bullshit.
No, it is.
No. I'm not saying you're wrong. I said it's bullshit that anybody would even do that.
Yeah, but at a certain point, it starts to flip over at a little while. Years from now.
At what point?
Years from now.
Exactly.
Years from now. Exactly. But only 100. That's my house. Only $101 going to the actual.
That's crazy.
Everything is interest.
Buying a house is a hustle. That's
with interest and property tax and homeowners insurance.
That's a hustle. They getting y'all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
and then it's so crazy because you never own the land. You don't even own the land the house is sitting on.
Unless you buy the land.
Yeah.
Unless you buy the land. But let's be honest. How many people own their land?
Nobody. Gotta have their money right.
You gotta have money.
But do y'all realize the land is actually cheaper than the house?
Absolutely.
Land is cheaper than the house.
You can buy land and put a tent on that bitch. Ain't nothing nobody can say.
You can buy a good sized land for about 40, maybe 50,000.
Mm-hmm. But to buy a house on somebody else's land gonna start you at about 100,000.
Oh yeah,
it makes sense.
And it all depends on what area you in.
How about I buy me some land and put a trailer on that bitch? That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know about trailer.
Ain't no
well, you know, they got like a lot of substitute. I want to say substitute secondary lenders, right? That kind of treat you a little bit better than the traditional way, right? And these guys, I know a few of them. They very much interested in maybe a little bit less than 6.75. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have access to these individuals. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to relate and have the resources. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be willing to sit down and have these conversations with these individuals so it can be, truly worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I wanted to share something else a little bit about the credit, a little tip for people who can go and look up. I think it's called Wallet Hub. So they can check it out and it'll give them their credit score. And then it'll show them some ways about how to increase their credit score and dealing with some things that may be on the credit. It can help them see what's actually on their report, right? And help them deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also interested in assisting people, you know what I'm saying? If they want me to walk with them, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to help out and assist or introduce you to others, you know what I'm saying? Other people that's, because I want to see all my people shine with this thing because we can really utilize credit and take advantage of these tools, you know what I'm saying, and really change our financial situation.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm all for getting your credit together. I think everybody should have their credit together, period. Whether you want to buy a house or just for your future in general, you have to have that credit together. Yeah. Because I'm definitely willing to work on mine. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Credit can help you on a rainy day. You can have a rainy day and credit might come through for you. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you what I know.
You need it because I'm telling you, it helps. It helps, especially when you ain't got the cash at that moment.
Yeah, it does. But you know what I really hate? I hate the fact that a lot of us coming from like urban areas of Black people, I'm just gonna say it. A lot of our families and our parents didn't teach us about credit.
Right.
A lot of them did not. Because I'm gonna tell you, I grew up, I could remember being probably like 9 or 10 years old and having LG&E and all that crap in my name. And I'm like, damn, moving up, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like they messed up our credit because they didn't know no better. They was like, oh, well, if I can't get it, my daughter can get it. You know what I mean? And back then they didn't they didn't do that background check like they do today, where they can pull it up and see, oh, your child's 10. Why they got a cell phone bill? They couldn't do that back then. So I'm talking about by the time we was 14 years old, we probably had cell phones, houses in our name, apartments all in our name, light and gas bills in our name. And then once you do get 18 and they looking at you all sideways, you like, I ain't even got no credit. I ain't never started credit. And they like, yeah, you do. You got this, that, and that. And I'm like, and it's crazy, but a lot of our families did that. They didn't teach us about it. They
Didn't know.
destroyed it.
Yeah. And if they had the correct information, they really could have used that to their advantage on a whole nother level for real. And by the time we turned 16 and 17, we would have been ready for a house for real.
No, you go.
Right. Like I said, I came from a family too, So I'm gonna give you a little story quick. When I first joined the service, 2008, and I went to basic training, and then the day for graduation, that was family day. So I went to Verizon to go get me a phone. Matter of fact, the Sidekick just came out, man. It flip up, you know what I'm saying?
Sidekick.
Man, I had a Sidekick. I forgot it was Sidekick SL something like that. But I went to Verizon. Could, you know what I'm saying? Get the money with everything. So boom, I told them the phone I want. So they came to the counter and everything. So I had to pay $500 for $500 down payment. Then plus the service, plus for the phone.
Because your credit was already bad.
Because I had to talk to somebody on the phone, a creditor. I'm like, man, are you serious?
They done got you. You done got stung by the bug.
They done got me. That I'm like, that's crazy. I don't understand that right there. That was so crazy. I'm like, man, and then once I realized what was going on, and I had to, talk to them, then I figured out my credit shot. My credit was like 400 something.
It had never even started credit. But you know what I've never understood? I need a better understanding of. Like, if you have never had credit before, how do you start off with bad credit if you've never had credit before? Like my daughter, she never had anything in her name. And when she tried to apply for a credit card, they kept denying her. And they was like, well, you have no credit. And she's like, well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a card so I can start credit and build credit. They was like, no, but having no credit is just as bad as having bad credit. I never understood that.
Yeah, having no credit is.
How does that work?
But that's what this is. I like what I've seen and what I've read is, even though bad credit, you got no credit, right? You have no credit at all. Lenders don't want to. Some lenders don't want to even lend to you, due to you have no credit. They would like you said, they would rather you have fucked up credit than no credit at all, which I never understood that.
But that makes no sense, because if I'm let's say I'm 18 years old, I'm fresh out of high school. Okay, so I'm about to go to college, so I'm trying to build credit. It seems like a lot of times they get credit cards for college to help them with books and different things like that.
Right.
So it's like, okay, if I'm coming out of high school and I have zero credit, then I would need somebody to have some kind of faith in me so I can go ahead and try to get this card and, build. You got to build your credit. You got to start somewhere. Why would you rather have somebody that's already showed you that they can't pay on time, or they don't want or care to pay on time? So they got this bad credit, but you will give them the option or the opportunity to get credit from you. But somebody coming out of high school, maybe has their first job or whatever, they're too risky.
That's just, and that's the $1 million question right there. And that's the answer. That's what the question right there is. Why do they do that to us? Why? Hello. Why? Because we got to start somewhere, right?
I would think so. I mean, it's my thoughts. I'm not sure.
They like I said, I feel like if you see me, you run my shit. Why not just go ahead with me, knowing you don't know my paying history, because I'm just starting off.
Exactly. So I haven't showed you anything bad because I haven't even had opportunity to.
Right.
But you're already prejudging me because you're like, oh well, that person's not going to pay. Like, how do you know that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Hold on, I'm going to this next video. And also, we got a special guest, Miss Bless. We got a Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Everyone, I want to tell you, we got a grandfather of our show. The grandfather, Mr. Yes, Sir. Here we go.
What's going on, family?
What's going on?
Y'all doing, man? What's going on? Y'all doing okay?
We doing all right, man.
Look, time constraints and other stuff, but we back. We here. Good to see y'all. If y'all look healthy. Man, I caught the last part of the feed. What was y'all picking up on? I don't know
about you know how good credit and bad credit and no credit, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you know how when somebody just starting off, no credit, and they don't want to give you anything, and you got no credit, got no credit at all, but they'll rather give it to someone that has bad credit. And people trying to wonder why that's always like that.
That was my question. Why would they rather take a chance with someone that's already proven they don't pay their bills or keep up with their credit versus someone maybe coming out of high school that's about to go to college and trying to get a little starter credit card to build their credit? Why would they rather take the chance on someone that's already proven that they're not going to pay their bills versus someone that's trying?
Well, I know that they got all type of stuff out now, man. They got this thing called the self credit card, where it's kind of like Chime. So they got that. You can put up to almost $3,000 of your own money on there, and that'll shoot your credit up from 4 something to damn near 7. I mean, within like 7-8 months, because it reports to all major credit agencies, and it reports to them secondary ones that nobody really talks about. And so it does that. But answer to your question,
they go right there, the credit card one.
Yeah. Make sure you don't get no number on the short bag.
Oh no, it's on the back, baby. It's on the back, baby.
Because look, I'm gonna scan you.
Bad credit.
Because I know you good. I know you good over there. I know you good. But to your question, your point, Bless, that whole debt to asset ratio comes into effect when they take chances on people. And just to be clear, we still live in a black-white society. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. And there's because this was personal experience. I'm old enough to see and have seen that someone with nothing have walked into a bank and walked out with something. And I've seen some black folks with something have all their ducks lined up in a row, business plan and everything. And they said, not no, but hell no.
Hell no.
Not no, but hell no to them. But that whole thing about taking a chance on sometimes that's just individual basis, I would say. Because 9 times out of 10, you gotta have, so when they look at this credit score, but then you got like secondary type stuff where they look at collateral and look at all type of other stuff. And once they do that, they'll see if you credit worthy to even borrow. Just like like cars. Like when you go to a car lot, if your credit is not up to par, just because the car salesman is trying to sell you a car, he'll lie to you straight up. Well, man, I can't find no finance for you, but you can do a buy here, pay here,
right?
And the car would be like $10,000.
Right.
But we need $4,000 down payment, and we need $200 a week on a $10,000 car. You know what I'm saying? And people fall into them traps all the time because that's what they need. They need their transportation, or they just ain't with the bus, whatever. And now Tark is great to do now. That's great. I don't know if y'all been watching the news, but Tark, they great cut the routes. They would cut drivers, so they're not gonna go all over.
They already cut a lot of routes already.
Yeah, but they great cut all of them in half. They great cut them in half, and they're not gonna go out like say Newburgh, Bardstown Road, Bluegrass Parkway. It's gonna be like 1 or 2 buses that go them places.
Basically, they're just trying to confine it to downtown.
Yeah, because they saying this is the thing. They did them studies about how other cities do with their busing. So if you have more people driving, you don't need the bus. But everybody doesn't have a car.
Oh, so everybody can't afford a car.
Yeah. So that study don't make any sense. But when you have AI in place and you have pencil pushers in place that, you know what I'm saying, that don't take human factors in play, that's what they're gonna do for the bottom line to do their thing. But that thing, before as like credit, right now it's all type of stuff, man. For to start with nothing. But I tell you what messed up for me, my own personal experience, college. Well, I went to service and then college. Man, they saying they had those booths. Cause back in the day, you know, cause when I'm in there nothing, you had to have those booths. And they said, man, sign up, man, $500 credit. Now think about this. Now I got 3 credit cards. I got $1,500 with no job. so I'm already in, I mean, you
in debt already.
18, 19, 20.
I remember.
Come on, man. Yeah. Man, so now I done went to McDonald's. I done went and got me a drink. I mean, you know, all the stuff. But now it's so much information that should not happen. It's way too much information for you not to be some type of financial literate a little bit. I ain't gonna say like know everything, but at least have a start, have a baseline. You know, have something to build off of.
Right.
You know.
And also, you know what? I learned about car. You know, I learned about car notes. You know, I learned about car notes. Do you know every $1,000 only takes off about $25 to $30?
Oh yeah. Your interest rate's crazy. That's why I did it. Your interest rate was nuts.
Yeah.
and when you buy a car, if you can, and if they try and force it on you, if you do credit union, which you always good with that because you already go with your pre-finance. Do not put no daggone down payment down. Because I tell you this, if you ever next time you buy your car, read the promissory note. Read it all the way through. Okay. You are your own bank.
That I've seen videos said something like that.
I'm saying the last car I bought, I saw the video. So you know what I had to do? I had to look to see if it was there. Yes.
But the crazy part is I seen it after I bought my car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because I tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you, hell, with my truck, I put $12,500 down.
Sure, you could have bought a truck for $12,500, boy. Go ahead.
I put 12,000.
Go ahead, Jay. I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't pass it up. You know what I'm saying? I only had 80,000 miles on there. 414. So I couldn't really pass that up.
Yeah, for that year, that mileage is pretty good for that year. Yeah.
Yeah, only 80,000 miles. So I was like, you know what? Boom. But the crazy part about it is, even I put 12,500 down. So the truck was $23,999, right? So I put 12,000 down, 12,500. My car payment is still $467.
Woo. Yeah. What you gonna say, Doc? What you saying there?
Yeah, I was gonna say with the bad credit thing, like you made some, you know, the collateral right can be an issue. And then sometimes when she was talking earlier about why would they pick or choose somebody, you know, sometimes it's just people who's in the office, and then it just they look at their paper, they look at just any experience with dealing with the money. Like they know you may have messed up the money, but we know that you have some experience with the money. So that just plays a role sometimes too. Like just having the smallest experience can help out.
Even as a negative experience.
But also just being like you were saying though, just being in the right place at the right time. I mean, a lot of times, but that happened for other folk, not us sometimes, but other folk a lot more than none. I mean, sometimes it is what it is. You call spade a spade. Sometimes it is what it is.
That's true.
I mean, sometimes the truth is true.
We just need to start getting in them fields. We just need to get in there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's ways that we can do second. What they call it? I don't want to say a second job, but you got 2 jobs. You can put yourself in a position. You know what I'm saying, to be able to help people out.
Oh yeah, and now when you got it used to be a scam thing to get over, but now you got some legitimate credit repair people,
right?
Like legitimate, like literally they can get your scores, grab all your paperwork, grab everything you got, and get you all the way together within a year. I know a couple people. I know one for sure. I know two. I know one for sure, and she's young too. She's younger. Man, she's a beast with it. And she knows the ins and outs of what it's supposed to look like, what it don't supposed to look like. But for years ago, that was a scam. You pay $100 up front, you pay $50 a month, and then next thing you know, they ghost you, and you didn't give them like $300, $400, $500. And they still got your information, and they going on some other ways to do some crazy stuff. With credit. Yeah.
That's a lot out there. That's a lot out there.
Yeah. But it's like 2 or 3 that I said. Like I said, 2 or 3 I know. One I know personally, and like I said, she's younger and she's doing her thing. And but she's a lawyer.
Yeah.
What you say?
We need to get her information.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
So I gotta tell y'all to play y'all right quick.
Pay your bills on time. Late payments can lower your score fast. And when I say on time, this means that the money has already left your account and reflected on the creditor's end by the statement due date. Second, pay the full amount owed, not just the minimum. I see this mistake happening all the time. If you owe $1,000, they're going to offer to let you pay only $10. Run. It's a trap. Pay the full balance each month if you can. You'll avoid paying extra in interest too. Third, keep your credit utilization low. The credit bureau wants to know that you aren't using all of the credit that they've extended to you. Aim to use 30% or less of your limit. So if your limit is $1,000, keep your spending to $300 or less each month. Lastly, don't apply for too much credit at once. Each time you apply, whether for a credit card, a car loan, or a mortgage, they run this thing called a hard check, which can lower your score. Applying occasionally is fine, but try not to do it too often.
Yeah, them hard inquiries, and that's a what they call a rule of thumb with that 30%. Keep your card at 30%.
30%.
Yeah, keep it at 30%.
That's so good.
Yeah, but I'm saying now, like again, like with videos and everything that's going on right now, like it was known, but it wasn't like in your face where you can see it. Like if you do this, and this, it's gonna work this way. When you didn't have that information, it was out there, but it wasn't, where you can get to it.
Right.
And because that 30%, you tell me each month, your score doesn't go one way, it goes the other way. Or it stays the same, it doesn't go down. But them hard inquiries, shoo, that knocks 100 points or more off your score.
Man,
and they stay
when I
on
applied for this
and
house,
it's 7 years. It's done for 7 years. Yeah.
when I applied for this house, man, that it took 100 and something points off my credit, man.
Well, I tell you what this now. This is what I need to get understanding for. I paid off a car and my score went down 200.
Huh?
I paid off my car, my credit score went down 200.
Well, how's that happen? How's that work?
So this what the explanation I got from the credit people that I'm talking about. So it shows that you no longer have this liability against your debt to rate ratio, your asset to debt ratio. So now you have more debt than assets. So it's showing, even though it's quote unquote an asset now, but your car depreciates when you buy it. Soon as you pull off the lot, if you bought that car for 25,000, soon as you get on the street, it's 20. It's 20, 19. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it looks on your credit on your credit report. And I was just like, it didn't make sense to me. But then I'm a concrete thing, not abstract, so I got to see it. Abstract, you can say all you want to. If once you show me, I was like, oh, I see it. Now I got more debt that I still owe, and I got this paid off. So it's almost like not like limbo, but it's not helping me. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
And but I didn't think it was gonna fall like that. So yeah, like it was damn near to about 180. It paid about 180. So and that's why they always say when you get a house, don't never pay your house off. But if you do pay your house off, get you a line of credit with the similar type of financing charges or whatever, And that right there will it'll be equivalent, so your credit won't be crazy, and you can do whatever with that line of credit.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying, to me, paying off a house, hell, I'm gonna buy off my house. Give me some more. Give me another. I got my granny. I'm gonna get a couple more houses. You know, I'm gonna get this generational wealth going.
You know, hey, that's I'm about it. To basically, you know, take borrow some money out of your equity.
But plus, you know what I'm saying, we got that VA. You use your VA?
I use my VA for my house.
Okay. Yeah, so now you can flip it where you can do FHA first time homeowner, but you still can dig back into that VA again, but you got to see how the terms are. Yeah. But VA, you ain't got no money. You don't have to put nothing up.
I didn't. I'm like, I look, when I first did it, you know what I'm saying? First, they was talking about I had to put like $1,500 down. But then when I got there, because I told her I didn't have no money, which I didn't have no money. The crazy part about it is I ain't put no I pay no down payment. No closing costs.
You didn't pay no inspection fee.
No.
Yeah, I know you did. No. I didn't either.
But the only inspection I did the initial inspection.
Oh, the initial one. Yeah.
I paid the initial inspection, but I end up when I got there with the lawyers and everything to sign the deed, I came home with a $300 check.
Yeah. Now I tell you this: when you buy a house from somebody and you start now, this is my thing. What I've learned, I'm not using a realtor again because when I saw how everybody got a check and I got a bill, that bothered me. I'm talking about everybody, like the person that sold the house for you, the person that you sold it to, the realtor that you sold it to. Everybody got a check. So you sign all these checks. I said, no. I said, now I got Google's free. So I said, let me go to Google and figure how this works.
Yeah.
And just like how we on this thing right now, all the videos, same way. Now let's this thing better. Only thing that you'll have to have at the time when you close it up is the lawyer to make it everything, make sure all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed.
Jesus, right.
But I'm saying, why would I give this person $4,000 because I went and found my house. So my
crazy part.
Man, my realtor, man, I was like, dude, I said, I don't feel comfortable giving this lady money. So, and then the person that you sold to, that's a no. So she got 4. The realtor that we bought it from got 4. So that's 8,000 that I understand. And then the money that was left part of the balance for the house, give to the people that we bought it for. And here I leave with a bill. Man, that's true buyer's remorse.
Man.
Because all you hear, man, get a house. You know what I'm saying? Then once you get home, you're like, man, why would I get a house? But on the flip side, if I'm gonna live somewhere, this place I got to rent, it's gonna be double what I paid for a house. And even though I'm responsible for everything, files, all that, but I'm cool with that because
me too. And see, that's the thing. I tell people this here. Is, now, especially how the economy is, a two bedroom apartment, you looking at $1,200-$1,300 now.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? So why not take that $1,200 and just put it in a mortgage for mortgage?
But I say this, I think even crazy. So years ago at Del Rio, Goldsmith Lane with Seneca High School with the double Rallies and double Thorntons was out Bardstown Road. When you go back with that library, Bonner neighborhood.
Bonner.
So I was in an apartment for years out there. One of my first ones when I got home from us, when I graduated from college. So it was $325, 1 bedroom. How about this, Jay? How about this, Bless? I went out there last month. They said the rent for lease. Man, I called them up. I want this, man, the apartment I lived in, I looked at the one right next to it. So I walked around, ain't nothing changed. All they did was change the carpet. It's the same. No, they got new appliances, new refrigerator, whatever. So it was $320. Guess how much it is for 1 bedroom?
Probably about $1,100.
At least $1,000.
$11.50.
See? I already know.
$11.50.
And I know what you're talking about. You went to apartments over across from Dollar General.
Yes, because man, that was my and that little plaza had everything. It had pick-pack in there.
Library.
Man, the library was next door. It had a laundromat. It had a little bar, karaoke, little bar. Man, that little you had to go nowhere. Right? I didn't. Man, everything was back there.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I walked in there, it was nostalgic because I was like, okay, because I live right here next door. But I was like, all they did was just change the carpet, put a little couple coats of paint.
That's it.
And they didn't really update like the appliances. You know, they was like newer than what I had, but they weren't like you're new, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
Almost 13. I was like, this is crazy.
What? That's just crazy. So for what? And then a lot of these apartment complexes, they switched though to like rug bills now.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst, man.
They switching what we said was?
Rug bill.
Rug bill.
What's rug bill? What's that?
Like say you have an apartment complex where say you have this hypothetical, you have one building, a complex with 12, so you got 12 units in there.
Okay.
So the apartment complex will get that water bill, right?
Okay. Oh, you got split.
And they split it.
Oh, I heard. Okay. I never knew that was called. I never knew that was called. Okay.
It's the worst.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I never knew that was called. Okay.
Listen, I can remember one time I moved out of Loop. Remember this? I moved out of Loop. Moved into an apartment. In my mailbox was a bill the day I moved in.
Before you even set foot.
$42 and some change was the bill waiting on me in my mailbox when I moved in when I got my key.
Wow. See, I heard about that. I never knew what the term was. It seemed like that should be illegal.
It was that part. I'm like, and I ain't even moved my furniture.
I'm gonna do some research on that. That seemed like that don't sound right. I mean, it's
that's
almost
the thing. A lot of complex are switching over to that.
Well, I would see why, because especially if you got a big complex.
Yeah.
Shoot.
And then the crazy thing is, like, in my apartment complex had a pool. So
damn.
Listen.
You didn't pay for the pool too.
Because I asked her, I said, how do I have a bill and I'm just moving in? Well, we have a swimming pool, so everybody pitches in on a swimming pool. I'm like, I ain't even got in there. I never went in the pool the whole time I lived there.
Right, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a hustle.
Yeah, that's definitely hustle. I didn't know that. Now I know the term. Now I can do some more research about that because I knew what it was, but I never knew what the term was. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I got another video for y'all.
What's the best way to manage and handle all of your credit cards? You're going to create a simple spreadsheet with 5 columns: bank or card, due date, reporting date, the actual balance that's owed, and then the credit card percentage of the utilization. The reason for this is because you want to always have a firm idea of A, what is your card's payment due date? That's the most important thing. But you also want to pay attention to the reporting date because payment history accounts for 35% of your score, but credit card utilization, which is reported on the reporting date, accounts for 30% of your score. And having a simple spreadsheet like this is going to make it very simple and easy because every single week you can go down the line and say, okay, which cards are due today? You should put that in your calendar. Which cards are reporting today or in this week? Put that in your calendar. This way you'll never miss a payment, never pay interest, and never have your credit card debt run away from you. If you want to learn more, my name is Ryan Alexander from I Teach Credit. Catch you later.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. And think about it. That's common knowledge, but it's not common knowledge. Like, because when you get that bill, you just see the due date. But if you look on the bill, it says the reporting date right above where it says your balance. And the only reason I know this because watching what you just play, I've been watching it. I didn't know that it was a thing.
Right.
You know, so that cuts out all the interest that you would have been paying on a payment before the due date.
Right.
You know, so I would just, I mean, even if you're just paying a minimum, you won't be paying that extra because you're paying before when it's actually due and when it's the reporting date. And I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
You ain't got to kill yourself either. You know, like, man, I ain't got $300-400 to pay this thing out.
Right. Yeah, you know
you know what I'm saying?
Like with my credit card, when I was dealing with credit cards, I just got a new one, whatever.
You got to be careful with it.
Yeah.
Look. I see you outside. You been outside, little bro. You been outside. I see you outside. Hey, you need to be on Soul Train, bro. You been outside, bro. Auntie got you outside.
Yeah,
Look, you been seeing the video? He outside.
Oh, he stay outside.
Is that what it is? Hey, go ahead.
Whatever.
Go ahead. No, I
don't go outside.
No, it's all from love. Ain't no hate. I love it. Ain't no hate.
But no, I do agree with one video I saw earlier. Like say your monthly payment for your card is like say it's $40.
Yeah.
And you done spent $100 out of that.
Yeah.
So people, I've seen some people, and I've done it too before. My monthly payment came up, but I only put about $10 extra on there.
Yeah.
But they don't want that, you know what I'm saying? And then it goes over to the next month. You spend $100 off before.
And then you're paying all their fees and interest. Yeah. Definitely, that interest is what kills all cars or anything. That interest is crazy.
I was just telling about my house. And this how when I first learned about how long why it takes 30 years to pay off a house.
Because I was telling you, you ain't paying that on the principal.
Look, I was telling you, look, my mortgage is $991.
Yeah. And you paying about $190 on the principal.
That's including homeowners insurance and property tax.
That's on the escrow.
Escrow. So I asked them, what they think was actually going to the principal. Only $101 is going to the principal.
Yeah. Now I say this. That whole method about asking to break it down your payments and paying it every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And when you break it down every 2 weeks, and if you can, at the end of the month, if you can pay a whole payment at a knock it in half, and if you do it every 2 weeks, it can knock it down to 17 years for 30. So it's a whole lot of little tricks in the trade.
I thought about doing it. I heard about that, but I thought it was just maybe once or twice a year, probably like once a year at least. Start off, have tax time or whatever. Throw an extra. To the principal, not make it to maybe put it straight to the principal.
But everything that goes to the principal for to make a dent anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a few methods out. But just like I'm saying, so much information now that it should be impossible for you to fail if you want to. You know what I'm saying? If you want to. If you're just not listening, or you're just hard-headed.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but you also could be in a space where you're in a bad way, in bad shape, and you can't do nothing.
True.
It's plenty of people like our age group, younger, older, whatever. It's like, man, I'm just in a bad space, or I'm in a job where I make less than what I pay. Mm-hmm. So now you robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I tell you another thing that's messing up credit, whatever, is the check cashing places. When you go and you write that check for $250, man, and come back at Friday, your payday, and you got to get in $250 plus $65.
Mm-hmm. Buy her, pay her loan.
Yeah. So then you do that, and you come back.
Make their money.
Right. So then you get enough money to pay it back, and then they say, well, you qualify for some more money. We only get you $250. We can give you $500 now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it sound like free money, but no, it's not.
It's far from free.
And they'll lay right back in and get that $5, and now they feel that $5 is $150. So now your check is $700. You got to pay the check people $650.
So you got to write it again, just
to rewrite it, And then you get caught up in that game, so you can't never get ahead. Whatever little job you got, especially depending on where you work. And nowadays, what I don't like, Father, going on with the government, all this goofy shit, is that they won't keep talking about people don't want work. Well, I know people personally that's working 2 jobs and they struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I know them. This ain't people that are lazy.
Mm-hmm.
They not. this how crazy with welfare and food stamps and all that. They working 2 jobs, still what they consider being in poverty, and they don't qualify because they make like $115 too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
but then you see the narrative, they're lazy, they don't want to do nothing, they're this, they're that. No, bro, these people, man, this is what they call the considered, and I hate using these terms, they use the working poor. I hate that term.
Yeah.
I hate that term. I'm working. That's it. I'm working. Don't put the poor in there. Don't put the poor in there. I'm working. I'm doing the best I can. And there's a lot of people, man, that are doing the best they can.
I'm gonna put this up for everybody can see.
Yeah, go ahead.
The effects of bad credit.
All right.
Don't want everybody look at that.
Lower down payment, short repayment. Yeah.
Everybody, I want everybody, the 6,300 people who's on live on YouTube.
Man,
I need to look at.
Oh man. So
y'all need to look at that.
Don't fall into this trap here. These 4 things here. Don't fall into it.
Do not fall into
Don't fall into it.
Absolutely. And the majority of people gonna feel, even me, I fell into it before as well. You know.
Absolutely. You live and you learn. I told you when I was young, my credit was awful. But I jumped out the back with 1,500 and went crazy. Man, I tell you everything. Man, you can get cash off them cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, when I went to the bank, man, and got that money.
Man, oh shit, bingo.
Man, now I get $200 cash. Oh man, you can't tell no young person that. I'm talking about in the day, probably now too. But back then, man, you can't tell that man. You could have told me that I get $200, and I said I want 2 $100 bills. I don't want no small bills. 2 $100 bills.
Oh, but soon you break that hundreds, it's over.
Hey, once you break 100, you might well have a $1 bill.
Exactly. But you know what we was thinking back then? Ooh, free money.
Absolutely, man.
But it ain't.
Man, I think, man. No.
I think people need to take credit real serious, man, because
for sure.
The hell with your name. Your name is credit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can just do so much with it. And that's as older I'm getting now, I understand it.
Yes.
I'm understanding now. I'm trying to maneuver in this second half of life because once you get to a certain age, now you're like, okay, wait, I got it. Yeah. This, that, and the third, cool. Because you don't know how much more time you have left to work. And with Cheeto Head and play as a president, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what the future holds? Because I'm saying
that one.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, as far as job, he overstepped the line. Then he goes, "Well, I'm not getting ready to go out to the hotels and restaurants, and hospitals, and the fields people now." No shit, Sherlock. I mean, that's a whole nother subject. But man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
We're gonna roll down to the next video, y'all. We almost out of here.
All right.
Wow, I got a 680. Dude, it went up again. My credit score is 682. Doesn't checking your credit all the time hurt your credit? Not always. Checking your score online using free services counts as a soft inquiry and won't lower your score. Really? So what's a hard check then? Anytime a financial organization checks your credit, it's usually a hard check. Okay, so like mortgages and car loans? Yeah, also student loans, credit card applications, and apartment rentals. So you're saying my score is going to go down if I apply to any of those? No, only multiple hard checks in a short period of time can actually lower your score. So if you're applying for financing, just be mindful and check your credit reports often.
Yeah, that's kind of like information we got on other videos. So yeah, that them hard inquiries, man, they stay on 7 years and they destroy your credit.
Yeah.
And this is what you also got to keep in mind too. If you do go buy a car, you got to make sure that they hit that thing one time. Because when they say, we shop at Linda's, no. You ain't shop. Because when they shop Linda's, they hit the thing 7-8 times.
They sure do.
Yeah. 7-8 times.
Hey, that's exactly what happened to me when I got this one.
And your score would go, all right, to nothing. Because that's 50 points each time.
Mhm.
And this is a fib too that I found out that if you go to a lot and it's supposed to be this, once that one inquiry hits your credit from that one place, they can hit it 7, 8 times, but it's only supposed to count as one. That's not true. That's not true. I know from experience it's not
That's
true.
not?
No, it's not true. Because I looked at it after the fact, after I started making my first, second, third payment. I'm like, man, my score's in the dumps. I said, my credit, I'm on track with my cards, and I don't really have no loans and things except this car and in my house. Now I looked on there, I said, I'll see what it is. It said, your score is trending this way. And that's another thing they got when he's talking about them free credit services. You got all type of free things that check your credit and give you accurate stuff for free.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about Credit Karma. Credit Karma is not that. Credit Karma is good for just give you an idea. Yeah, generalization, but like Capital One, FinWise, that's a good one. That's free. Credit Builder, that's free. And that gives you your FICO score and everything.
And I got both of those. So
yeah. Again, like I'm saying, like a self card, that gives you everything for free too. This is not Chime. I really don't like Chime. The Chime get hacked all the time. Because they FDIC will take forever for you to get your money back. So no, I don't need I need for you to get me together right then and there. Yeah, because if my money gone, I need it right now since you're supposed to be, semi-protected.
Right.
But it lets you know when it's in my mind that you can go to too. Yeah.
Miss Bless looking sleepy over there.
I know what you got going on, Miss Bless. What you got going on?
Working hard, getting up at 5:15 in the morning. That's what I do.
Oh Lord. You sitting down in North Carolina?
I am.
Okay. Well, shit. I'm gonna leave it alone. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Well, we got 2 more videos to get to, and then we got all right.
When I had bad credit, I had to pay for everything twice. The more people have bad credit, the more expensive things are for them, right? Mm-hmm. So when I had bad credit, I had to pay for everything twice. My first car was a used Nissan Altima, 75,000 miles, and I couldn't even get approved for it. I had to get my friend Kevin to be a co-signer.
Wow.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know what the word co-signer meant. And I put my friend Kevin in a position where if I didn't pay the loan, they would go after him.
Yeah. That's kind of self-explanatory on that one.
Right.
Yeah.
They ain't got to say nothing. Go to our last video.
Yeah.
Arguments about money between couples are by far one of the top predictors of separation, according to Sonia Britt, who's a researcher and professor at Kansas State University. And according to Monzo's Love Report, the average UK couple argues, get this, 5 times a month about money. But on the flip side, those who manage their finances well together often find greater happiness and satisfaction. So, with 4 million Brits feeling uneasy about discussing their finances with a partner, how can you improve? And how can you and your partner better handle money talks in your relationship? I have 3 tips. Tip 1 is organize routine finance meetings. I know it doesn't seem sexy, but it is. Imagine this. It's a nice evening where you maybe have some drinks, you talk about money. Remember, it's all about collaboration and working together towards a future goal. Tip 2 is engage in joint financial education. That's right, learn together. Online courses, books, workshops together. You'll learn to make informed decisions as a team, and this will help your financial journey. And tip 3 is try a secret Santa approach for holiday gift giving. Set a specific budget, keep your spirits high, your stress low during these festive times. Remember this, at the end of the day, a great relationship is built on openness, trust, and tackling the tough stuff together. It takes teamwork, to make the dream work.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. When I was doing my research of this, it was like like I said, talked earlier. I didn't realize couples with bad credit and bad credit can screw up a relationship.
Oh yeah. Man, money is the root of all evil, and it's also the key to all good.
Yes.
I mean, I look at it there. You probably never heard it. I just made it off the top of my head, but I'm saying that definitely Rudolph, you heard that, but I'm saying it's also the key to get you out of all the mess that you in. Because if a nice nest egg fall in your lap, a lot of the negative and madness and bullshit goes away. Because if I'm upset with you because we don't have it, and now we do, I might forget why I'm mad at you. I might just forget why I'm upset. You know,
it's true.
You know, I might just forget, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it. So I'm gonna let y'all know, y'all.
Yes, sir.
9400 on YouTube.
Hey man, look. They said they knew Mr. Yes Sir was coming back. They said, man, that your city hood politician, your Traverse City Campbell, your favorite Uncle G, your favorite uncle. He's back. Never went nowhere. I love the platform. I love my co-hosts. I love the Potters. Y'all some great people. I say this platform is needed. This information is needed.
Mm-hmm.
We need to continue going forward. And I say this, with this team we got going right now, we can't lose.
Can't lose.
Let's keep it moving.
I got one thing put up for the viewers. I got one thing. They gotta let them look at that. I gotta let them look at that right there.
Yeah, what do we got? Let's see what we got here.
Go ahead and look at that right there.
And the effects of a lack of intimacy. Those type of things, sexual dissatisfaction, loneliness, eroded emotional connection, fighting and arguments, resentment, avoidance.
JJ, what did that do with credit, bro?
Huh?
Yeah. What does this have to do with the credit?
What can I do with credit?
That you don't know what that got to do with credit?
No.
It goes in what I learned. It goes into with bad credit. When people have bad with money, they credit. Hold on, when they bad with money and they bad with credit. It also affects all that. It's about
it fixed the intimacy in their home life and their partnerships.
Yeah.
In relationships.
Yeah.
I see where you was going. But you just threw it up there with no context. And I was like, wait a minute, we got a different show getting ready to start. We got a different show getting ready to start. We need to save it for the next show. We didn't say that for the next show.
It goes in all. It goes with all.
I see, but you didn't give us no context with it. I was like, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. Yeah, for sure.
Because once I said it earlier. Finance and bad credit can also with a negative impact on your relationship.
Right, because finance destroys romance if you don't have it. It destroys it. Because if you ain't got that paper, ain't no romance player. It's over with. When that paper's messed up, the best she know, look at she know. She ain't messing with no broke. The broke. She ain't messing with them. I know better. I ain't messing with nobody and got nothing. You ain't going with anything going on. It is what it is. It is, man.
With that being said, y'all, y'all like, share, and comment.
Man,
definitely. We can get back into the anonymous letters. We're gonna get back into that. So need y'all to send that in. Y'all got any topics y'all wanted us to talk about? We are more than willing to talk about. We're gonna jump in and get it. Let you know what we know. With that being said, Elijah Podcast, we out of here.
Peace.
Bye.